Sit back, relax, put your belt on, and enjoy the show.
Very good entree. Let's get stuck in. Buys the Force and the Chefs. It was very hard with a draft without being able to pick up the Chefs players.
I did.
Nels did, though. Yep. And so I picked up one as well. So, there you go. All right. Who wants to take us through the first game, the Reds and the Rebels?
I'd love to. Now, I would just say before that as well, it's not often that a Super Rugby team on a bye that gets no points comes off better than their opposition. But it's fair to say that the Western Force had a huge win in comparison to the Waratahs spanking. But I'm sure we'll get to that soon.
The what? The what spanking? I didn't...
The Waratahs spanking? No, we won't talk about that then.
Oh, I forgot. Didn't the Waratahs have a bye on the weekend? I thought they...
Yeah.
So there was two buys and there was
They wish. No, that was the Brumbies bye, mate. Game 2, the Reds... the game of the Super Rugby AU competition. Reds versus the Rebels, 23-21, with the Reds scoring a couple of tries to the Rebels 0. Returning to this one, you had Suliasi Vunivalu, who had a 1-week ban for some off-field indiscretions that we won't go into again. One injury on this one as well. Not an injury, really. Fa'atuika, the big prop, came on in the second half. Taniela Tupou coming off the field quite early, actually, as a sub. I think basically half-time. And Fa'atuika... took off someone's head and got a 3-week ban as a result.
And before you get into it, mate, who expected this? Certainly not us. 23-21. What a close game.
Yeah, so I think the way to explain this one was first half, in the first 35 minutes, there was 18 penalties and there was 9 knock-ons from the Reds. So the Rebels kind of really frustrated the Reds in terms of their attacking game plan. It was just so stop-start. Matty Tamua's goal kicking was on point in that first half, kicking a fair few in a row from outside of the 40-metre mark. And it just really frustrated the Reds. It completely slowed down the flow of the game. And I thought it was really good footy, to be honest.
Yep.
The possession on this one, 61-39%, territory 67-33%. So the Reds absolutely dominating, and it actually got worse for the Rebels in the second half, 72 and 79% respectively for the Reds there. So they just had all the ball, and that's why they managed to make their way back into the game. You would have thought that the red card would have been the end of the Reds, especially when they only scored 3 points. While Fa'atuika was off the field, but they were in it close enough that they could get a 77th minute try and sneak a win. I thought special mention to fantasy man of the match was Alex Murphy, 62 points, 2 tries, 7 carries for his 49 metres, a line breaker, tackle bust, and 12 line-out wins. I thought he was excellent, despite me telling my opposition that I thought he was a terrible fantasy player. So that made me eat my words a little bit.
Yeah.
In attack, the stats were pretty one-sided. Again, the Reds doing all the running, 420-225, 29-9 tackle bust, 10-4 line breaks, and 10-1 offload. So the Rebels played a really conservative game. Set piece as well. Lineouts were pretty average. We're okay, I should say. 14 from 15, 93% from the Reds, 6 from 8 for the Rebels. So not too much going on, and the scrums are pretty even as well. The crazy stat was the Rebels had 10 scrums to the Reds 1. So that was obviously all those knock-ons, which the Rebels never ever took the opportunity and went to set piece every single time.
And also there were some good scrums though as well. Far out that big Rebels front row, like those guys are massive. Really took it to them.
Yeah, shout out to a couple of massive hits as well. Paisami put one on Matty Tamur, which was a huge lead. And then Pone Fa'amalsili put one on as well, and I think early in the second half. So that was awesome.
That's right. That Paisami one, you felt at home watching the game.
Oh,
you felt it yourself, yeah.
So good. Reds' next top scorer was James O'Connor with 58 points and Siru Iru with 46 points. Quick shout out to our website. There's an issue there. We're just changing him. He's listed as a lock. He will be a back rower. And on the Rebels side, the top one was Richard Hardwick on 31 points. So, I mean, that explains it all. There was no points for them because they did nothing other than kick their goals.
Correct.